Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CJ's Coins and Crafts. This is a special episode of our US Commemorative series, this one covering the Gadsden Purchase half dollar. This was a half dollar commemorative that was not produced, although it did receive approval from both the House and the Senate. So let's jump into the history on this one. The Gadsden Purchase came as a result of negotiation between the U.S. Minister to Mexico, James Gadsden, and the Mexican President Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. After the Mexican-American War, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo left border disputes along the Mexican secession. U.S. President Franklin Pierce sent James Gadsden to resolve these issues, which resulted in a treaty that was signed on December 30th, 1853. The 45,000 square miles were initially to be purchased to the tune of $15 million, but was later reduced by one-third. The proposal of a commemorative half dollar of the 1854 congressional ratification of the Gadsden Purchase was initiated by El Paso coin dealer Lyman W. Halfecker, who wanted a commemorative coin he could control and distribute. After gaining support of several members of Congress from Texas and the Southwest, a bill was introduced in Congress in April 1929, only receiving a hearing after about 11 months. The bill was introduced by Texas Congressman Claude Benton Hudspeth. Hoffaker relayed that the coin would have the portrait of Gadsden on its obverse in a map depicting the lands of New Mexico and Arizona on its reverse. Hudspeth introduced the bill into the House of Representatives on April 25, 1929, where it was referred to the Committee on Coinage, Weights, and Measures. On January 29, 1930, Committee Chairman Randolph Perkins of New Jersey sent a letter to the Treasury to obtain their view. Treasury Secretary Andrew Mellon replied on the 31st opposing the bill. He felt that Congress had wisely decided in 1890 that coin designs should not be changed more often than once in 25 years, and the 15 commemorative bills passed since 1920 were wasteful and a burden on the mint. He noted that in 1927, which at the time was of the Vermont sesquicentennial half dollar, the Coinage Committee had gone on record in opposition of commemorative coin issues, many of which were only of local and not national significance. Several issues had failed to sell out, resulting in coins being returned to the mint and melted. Mellon had suggested that a medal be issued instead of a coin. On March 8th, Halfaker sent a telegram to the committee offering to pay for the entire issue of 10,000 pieces anytime the department wanted, given that the mint had produced over 30 million coins for other nations in 1929. Any burden posed by the commemorative half dollars was slight. Perkins' committee issued a report on March 17, 1930, stating that the anniversary of the Gadsden Purchase was of international importance, and there was no risk to the Treasury given the willingness of Halfecker to pay for the coins. On April 21st, 1930, President Herbert Hoover vetoed the bill, returning it with a list of objections to the House of Representatives. Hoover noted the issuance of 15 commemorative coins over the past decade allowed the opportunity for counterfeiting. Hoover stated, "The matter is not perhaps one of large importance in itself, were it not for the fact of the great number of other similar proposals." Noting that 5 other commemorative bills before Congress at the time, that it would be harder to turn down the others if the Gadsden Purchase was enacted. Only one congressman, House Majority Leader John Q. Tilson of Connecticut, spoke in favor of Hoover's action. During the override debate in the House, the veto was easily sustained with 96 votes in favor of override to 243 votes opposed, well short of the two-thirds majority needed. This was the first veto of Hoover's presidency and the first ever veto for a commemorative coin bill. On April 26th, the Washington Post published an editorial in favor of Hoover's actions. It wrote, "It is to be hoped that the practice of minting special coins for occasions of this kind is definitely at an end. The issuance of commemorative coins has become a nuisance. Yet if Congress thus favors one celebration, how can it refuse another? The only sound policy is uniform coinage for use only as a means of exchange. The clamor for souvenir coins rises from the fact that they may be sold at a profit. But Congress has authorized the minting of so many souvenir coins recently that profits have fallen off. President Hoover's judgment meets with general approval." I want to thank you for watching this video and just kind of going through the history on this one. This was one of the first ones that I found that was a $50 commemorative that was not produced. As in the history that we just went through, it shows that many previous $50 commemoratives were done. And there has been some tension going on in the late 20s and early 30s for these coins to not be produced. So the picture that I have up on the screen is a recreation that I did based off of sketches and based off of pictures from early auctions about what the Gadsden $50 would look like if it were going to be produced today. So if you like this content, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified anytime that I upload new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.